Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we're going to be creating our very own Picasso self-portraits. But before we do that, we're just going to quickly review some things that we went over in class, which was about Picasso, who Picasso is, and what abstract art is, specifically talking about Cubism. Well, first let's go over what abstract art is. So it's art that does not look like real life. So this is a photograph of Picasso, so this is realistic, and this right here is his own self-portrait that he created that is abstracted by using a lot of different lines and shapes and different colors. Now, we don't normally look like this. We don't walk around the world looking like this. So that's why this is called abstract art. Okay. So Picasso was a Spanish painter, born in Spain, Malaga, Spain, and he is not alive today, unfortunately, and he passed away in France. And this right here is actually his whole name. So he wasn't just known as Pablo Picasso, but he was known as Pablo Diego José Francisco de Paula Juan Nepomuceno María de Remedios Cipriano de Santísima Trinidad Ruiz y Picasso, if I said that correctly. Okay, and again, he was known as an abstract artist, specifically as a cubist artist. Okay, so in class we've talked about Vasily Kandinsky and his abstract expressionist pieces. Now, Kandinsky was known as an artist to create pieces based on what he was feeling, okay? So his emotions, making it really abstract, so we can't really tell what's going on here in Kandinsky's piece. Sure, we see lines, we see shapes, we see colors, we see balance, but as far as subject matter goes, we can't really tell what's happening without getting some context. However, in Picasso's piece, his piece is also abstract, but we can still tell what's happening in his piece, or we can tell what it's about. So it looks like there's a girl here, and I don't know if those are all toys around here. It looks like she's holding like a sailboat, but we can tell that this is about a girl, okay? It has subject matter. Here, not so much, making this abstract expressionism and making Picasso's piece more of a cubism. So cubism is a type of abstract art that uses shapes, it uses straight lines, and a subject can be seen in these pieces. Subject cannot be seen here, subject can be seen here, okay? And for the most part, the subjects can be seen from all different angles, okay? So here is a little information about cubism. In Cubism, artists stress basic abstract geometric forms that presented the object from many angles simultaneously, okay? So like an example here, Picasso's art pieces, okay, and that's when a lot of his pieces look a little bit odd or a little bit wonky because they're supposed to, okay, they're supposed to be abstracted. Now what Picasso tries to do with these cubist pieces is that he tries to show a portrait from a lot of different angles, okay? So if you were, for example, this piece here, you can see the side of this woman's nose, but you can still see the other eye there, okay, that you would normally not be able to see if she was facing just towards one direction. Same thing over here, okay? And then there's a picture with the girl with the boat as well, okay? So our learning targets, today I'll create an abstract self-portrait inspired by Picasso's Cubist style. I know I got it when I have created an abstract self-portrait by using lines, shapes, and color, and we need to make sure that we abstract ourselves as well, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on our self-portrait. Now, these are some of the materials that you are going to need. You're going to need a piece of paper, you're going to need an eraser, a pencil. If you have crayons at home, great. If you have markers, you can choose to use markers. Whatever you choose to use, totally up to you and the resources that you have at home, okay? On Classroom Dojo, there are 2 handouts that I uploaded. There's the Roll-a-Picasso handout, the green one, and then there's the blue one here. The green one is the one that I use for kindergarten through 3rd grade, and I use the blue one here for 4th grade and 5th grade students. However, if you're in 3rd grade or even in 2nd grade and you choose that maybe you want to use some of these different images or different designs on your self-portrait, you can go ahead and use that. Go ahead and do that. It's totally up to you. You are the artist. You get to create your self-portrait however it is that you want. Now, keep in mind that these are for you to reference. You can choose to draw them exactly how they look, or you can make them different. I mean, it's totally up to you. So just keep that in mind as you are drawing. I'm going to go ahead and use the Roll-a-Picasso to create my self-portrait, and maybe use a little bit of this blue handout as well for 4th and 5th grade to do the design for the head. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Vamos a empezar. Now I'm going to start very, very lightly, and you know what? I want to use maybe just that one here, this organic shape. I'm going to sketch lightly, and you should be sketching lightly as well. In case you do make a mistake, you can go ahead and erase it. If you draw really, really dark and press down really hard, you're going to get these really dark lines, and then if you erase, you're still going to be able to see the lines there. So make sure that you're sketching lightly, so if you do make a mistake, you can go ahead and just erase it off and like nothing was there before. Okay, all right, and I'm going to use a combination of both of these handouts. I want to use this green one, and you know what, I kind of want to divide my face up. To look abstract, they're supposed to look pretty funny, pretty wonky as well. So don't get discouraged as you're creating them. The weirder, the better. Okay, I want some up. And I think I'm done. I'm ready to start coloring. Okay, so now to outline your piece or to add color, you can just choose to use crayons. Okay, so you would be able to outline your piece in black crayon if you choose to, or you can just start with other colors. Or if you have markers, you can choose to outline your piece in a black marker like we normally would in class. I have Sharpies in class, but if you have Crayola markers or any black marker, you can go ahead and use that. Other than that, if you don't have that, just go ahead and use your crayons. I'm going to go ahead and use my black Sharpie like I normally would in class, and then I'm going to go ahead and add color. So I'm going to go over all of these lines in black Sharpie. So since I used marker, I'm going to go ahead, use my eraser and erase all of those pencil lines. If you use crayon, you're probably not going to be able to do this because it's going to smudge the Crayola. This is the fun part. I'm going to be using crayons to go ahead and color my self-portrait. Now in class, for 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade, we've learned about analogous colors. And analogous colors are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel and they share the same primary. So an example here would be yellow, yellow, green, green, yellow, yellow, orange, orange, red, red, violet, violet, blue, blue, green, green. So any colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. When you use them either in painting or when you're coloring and you blend them together, it creates this like very, very soft, soothing, or harmonious type of feel to your piece. So I'm going to use yellow, yellow, orange, orange, and maybe even throw some red, red, orange in there. For this side of my face, I want some warmer colors. These right here would be considered warm, okay, and cooler colors would be on the other side of the color wheel. An orange as well. And wherever my red is, here is my red, okay. I can use these and I can also use the tertiary colors that are in between to blend these colors. So you can go ahead and color this however it is that you want. If you just want to use solid colors like green for the eyebrows, red for the background face, it's totally up to you. Like I said, you're the artist, you get to color it however it is you want. I'm going to do kind of a gradient of colors or use the analogous colors to kind of create this really neat effect. So I'm going to start with here with yellow. Now keep in mind that you don't have to color your piece just like mine. I'm just showing you some different techniques. I have an example here, which is actually Mr. Bernhardt, our 3rd grade teacher. He created his own self-portrait and he didn't use the blending technique like I did, but his piece looks just as awesome as anybody's. So keep in mind, you don't have to blend it. It's totally up to you. If you want to challenge yourself to blend with some of these crayons, go for it. And if you don't, just keep it simple. It's totally fine. Okay, for this other side, I do want to use cool colors. Okay, and some of the cool colors on our color wheel would be green, blue, blue, violet, violet. So we normally talk about them just as the secondary and primary colors. So green, blue, and violet would be considered our cool colors, and then anything in between that. So for over here, I kind of want to use some cool colors. I'm going to gather some cool colors here. And I want some greens as well. Okay, not white. White would be used to create a tint of a color. So a color if you want it to be lighter. And then black, of course, to make a color darker if you overlap it. Picasso self-portrait.